What's up, everybody? Welcome to Crossplay episode. Which episode is this, guys? I don't even know.
102.
Episode 102. This is a special episode. That's why I wasn't sure before counting it or whatever it may be. We're not going to talk about the news on this episode. We are actually going to talk about our game of the year, which is even better than the news. Am I right? Everybody?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Game of the year 2020.
I don't know, man. That pondering orbs and stuff back here, man. It's great.
Oh my god. I have a knife too, a new knife. But anyway.
Right now, yet another thing you can threaten people with.
Because you have the orb, it's the meme, Kyle, of the me pondering my orb.
Exactly. Yeah. We're pondering orbs this year, boys.
There it is. Heck yeah. So, by the way, my name is Gino Viteri. I will be one of your hosts for today, and I am joined by Alan Busby. What's up, Alan? How you doing?
Oh, hi. Still with a residual cough, but we're still alive. We're kicking.
Okay, still alive. That's very important. Very important. Ignacio Rojas. What's up, Ignacio?
Doing pretty good. It's still very hot here, so I have my window open over there. I have a fan over here. I'm still very hot.
You're hot there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's summer here.
It's summertime for him.
Yeah. So let me check. Okay. It is 27 right now. So
hold on. So it's January. It's summer for you in January.
Yeah, man. He's different hemisphere.
God, yeah, I know.
He's in the southern hemisphere.
I just don't think about it,
Yeah,
I'm an American. Why would I think about that? Right?
It's 19 degrees here.
And
that's Fahrenheit. So wow.
Ringer.
It's Fahrenheit. But apparently,
hello. It's me.
Feels like 3 degrees.
Jesus.
So Ignacio's in a different hemisphere, right?
Yeah. Ecuador. That's no way. That's Ecuador is the Ecuador line. What's it called?
Ecuador is on the equator. They're like an hour
the equator.
behind.
Yeah, right.
So not that different, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure.
So Ignacio, in Celsius, it's -8 here.
Yeah, that I thought so. I know that below 32 is below 0 degrees.
And apparently
that's cold.
In Celsius, it's -8. It's mostly cloudy. It feels like -16.
Jesus Christ.
Oof. What is that?
It's not even that bad out. It's not even that bad out.
What is it for you? What's the Fahrenheit?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
It was 13 degrees.
Holy shit, dude. I've never been in that. I've never been in that. The lowest I've been is
visiting my parents this winter. -13 was the lowest it got.
Wow.
Out in Wyoming.
Negative.
Yeah.
Not even that bad.
Can't you die?
Have you tried leaving, I don't know, a cup of water outside or just throwing it out and seeing how it freezes? Yeah,
like throwing it in the air and seeing what happens. Would it freeze instantly? No, that's too
probably
much.
Not. No.
I don't know. With that's below freezing point, so I don't know what will happen.
It is, but it still takes time. Like it's still.
As soon as it touches the ground, it'll probably.
Yeah, I don't know, but haven't you seen those videos of people just throwing it and instantly going out?
That's like super.
What if the water is boiling and then you throw it?
Oh wait, no, yeah, it's boiling water. I'm thinking of the videos. That's crazy.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways, Gino.
Anyways,
you said you were looking for a new chair, and I have to say, at the start of the pandemic, I started a journey. Okay, I set out on a quest to become the ultimate gamer. Right.
Okay.
So I bought myself a gamer chair. And I was like, "Look, guys, I'm the ultimate gamer now. I have an official chair that makes me a gamer." Little did I know that was only one of the infinity stones, right?
Yeah.
Like after that, I was like, "What? You have to make your own PC?" So you know what I did? I did that. I made my own PC.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I got that Infinity Stone. And then I bought myself a PlayStation 5. I was one of the lucky ones to get one right away. I mean, we all have been here. We all have had PlayStation 5s for over a year now. We're all real lucky to have that.
We're all the first.
But I'm now only missing one Infinity Stone to become the ultimate gamer. I still don't have a 3080, but you know what I do have, boys? Oh, I got an Xbox Series X.
I thought you were
Got
going
it
there.
in
Look at that.
just this past week, so I'm excited to play it. Alan hates me. He just left. He was like, I'm no longer the ultimate gamer. Oh no.
No, man, he hates Xbox that much. Hey, how many cans of soda can you fit in there?
3.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 3. It's fun.
Wait, that wasn't the fridge, was it?
Well,
No,
apparently
that was the actual console.
Apparently, Xbox Game Pass is a phenomenal feature and a really great way to save money on games, but I don't have it. I just buy everything.
It sure is.
But only on sale, though. Only on sale, unless I know it's going to be a rock solid game. Then I buy it full price.
Yeah, well, Alan, Xbox Game Pass.
He likes the hard way.
They don't have trophies, so it doesn't even count.
It's achievements. It's the same thing.
Exactly.
Wow. So you don't care if it is achievements or trophies. You just want that number going up.
Very.
No, I just like to. I just like to play. I just play games, man. It just gives me more stuff to do in games I enjoy.
Yeah, like Biomutant.
Video games, right?
Hey,
that's what we're gonna talk
if it wasn't for the trophies, I wouldn't have played more. I can admit Biomutant sucked, but you know what? The farther you got, I don't remember what it was. I got one gun in the game that was like super OP and it was super fun to use.
Well, that game's not on your list because that game was trash. Anyway,
how do you know it's not there?
So we're gonna start here. We have 10 games that we are going to mention only a few of them and talk about 5 of them. We're going to talk about our top 5, and then at the end of this list here that we all come up with, we are going to not vote, but we're going to.
We have a point system.
Why don't you take it away? Kyle?
Sure. Yeah. So we all do have our top 10 lists, but for the sake of time, we're not going to really talk about numbers 10 through 6. We'll list them so you guys know what they are, and I can write them down on my end and assign our point value to them all. But we're going to be focusing on our top 5. And then we might give a shout out or two to games that maybe didn't make our list, but deserve some attention or something like that. I know we also have a couple of rules about what can and cannot be on our list. Infamously, Cuphead is not eligible, of course. So Ignacio, you actually know these a little bit better. So 1, it had to come out originally in 2021 with an asterisk on that.
Yeah, asterisk on that because we agreed that it could be a game that released outside the US. Now it's a different year, but it could have released in the US this year or this past year.
That's
there's only 2. There's only 2 games on my list that fit that category. So
yeah. On top of that, no re-releases, no collections, no DLC unless it's like a huge substantial one. Like this is a full-on expansion.
Yeah. No collection. For example, that would be Mass Effect. Yeah. And then for DLC, there were a couple of DLCs that came out, but we've done the exception these years of something like an expansion for an MMO could count. If
just so Gino can participate.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he's the host, I guess.
I do have to talk about that. Did you respect
that little thing we had there, Gino?
Yeah, 100%. Brought out the same knife.
Right now, 2 people can threaten us. There you go.
So, fun fact for you, Ignacio, since you gave me crap for it, I went through my entire list. I played 18 games that released in 2021.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
18 games. Nice. And I'm not going to lie, a lot of them were kind of they were okay.
You know, I think you played probably that many games or a little bit less last year, Alan, but there was some that you just didn't want to put on your list.
They weren't good enough.
You didn't want to put it.
Not how
they
it
weren't
works.
Good enough.
Yeah, not how it works. If you play 10 games, write them from how you like it to list.
I actually went through it and I took out every game that doesn't fit the criteria. So I got my top 10. And then I also went through my list completely. And because I wrote down like the 18 games I played that were brand new in 2021. But then I also wrote what ranking they had on my personal list amongst every game I played that was new last year.
And you did your whole like, What's the app? It's not Letterboxd, but it's the game.
It's the
version.
GG app.
GG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna start using that for this year actually.
And let me tell you, like once I hit number 19, like without like because they won't be my honorable mentions. All my games are generally close, and then we hit my 19th ranked game, and then the next one that was new is 33. So there was a massive drop off in the quality of like, wow, these games sucked.
When I started using GG, I think last year and even the year before that, and I started doing it, and then I stopped pretty soon.
Man.
Yeah, so I had to make a new account, and I'm starting this year.
You gonna add me?
I wanna keep track and stuff. I want to actually beat quite a few games this year. So
how many games did you beat last year?
I don't know. So I really don't know. I didn't keep count or nothing like that.
Yeah,
46.
Like that I can think of, not that many though.
Jeez. You beat 46 games.
46.
I platinum 46 games. I completed 49 games.
Holy shit. That's crazy. That's
not
good.
50 though.
That's a lot of games. So anyway, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go one by one and list our 10 through 6 and honorable mentions. If you want to say something about one of those games real quickly, just say real quickly.
Only for your honorable mention.
Yeah.
If you have something to say, like here's why you should play it, just keep it short and simple.
Yeah. And then for 10 through 6, just mention them, and then we'll all go one by one. So, who wants to go first? Should I go first?
Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So, actually, so first, before I do start my list, I wanted to give myself a list of games of the year that didn't include Final Fantasy, because we already know that that's my game of the year.
Yeah,
like,
it's number one.
Simple. Final Fantasy
Waiting in line simulator
is the best game of the year, so I don't need to talk about it because that will be my favorite game no matter what. Nothing beat that. So that can be talked about some other time. But so I have I think 13 games here. I have the top 5. And let me look at my 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So I guess I'll mention my 10 through 6 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So my number 10 here that I have is Forza Horizon 5. Okay. Forza Horizon 5, number 10 of the year. And then these next two are games that I don't think any of you guys played, but I think they were pretty good. These are games that I beat as well. All of these games. So Forza Horizon 5 is the only game that I didn't finish out of my top 10.
Okay.
Because of just how huge that game is. And then so my number 9 here is Unpacking.
Okay.
That game.
On Xbox
Unpacking.
Yeah. And then you got that, Kyle? You wrote that down?
I did. I'm writing all of this down.
Okay, cool. And then number 8 here, Artful Escape.
Artful Escape.
Okay, and then these I didn't know which one to put first between these two. So if anything, kind of a tie, yeah. As time goes on, maybe here, because I know for some of you guys these might be in the top 5, so I'll hear you talk about it. And once we talk about it, I'll probably change my mind on these next two. On where they are next to each other. But next up, my number 7 is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay. Guardians.
Not actually on my list at all.
It doesn't surprise me.
Right?
Yeah, no, I didn't play it, no.
And then next up, number 6 is Ratchet and Clank.
Wow.
Okay.
Very low for Ratchet and Clank.
So Gino's got Ratchet higher on his list than even on mine. Ratchet just barely doesn't make my top 10.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, because I mean, there is other games that I just love more than Ratchet and Clank. So.
Yeah,
wow.
That's fine.
And then I do have 4 honorable mentions here. Halo Infinite, of course, an incredible game. I only played the multiplayer, that's why I'm just mentioning it. Didn't really care for the campaign. Multiplayer is awesome. And then these 3 other games are games that I played but didn't finish. That I thought were really good. Lake. because I was a FedEx
Lake
driver when I was playing Lake.
Oh yeah, Andrew just played that game.
So Lake is really good. The Gunk is another one that I enjoyed a lot.
Gunk.
The Gunk surprised us all, of course, because Kyle put that on his list, on his fantasy draft there. And then Monster Hunter Rise, that came out 2021, right?
Yeah, very February.
Yeah, very early.
Very early.
And I played Monster Hunter Rise for a good amount of time, but I didn't get super into it. But Monster Hunter Rise was a great follow-up to World, I think.
Rise, not even on my list.
Wow. You played
the Monster Hunter fan of the
I didn't even finish Rise. Just didn't like it on the Switch. I don't know. Wasn't vibing. I probably got to go back and play, and I'll probably like it, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it was great. So those are my honorable mentions. And then I have a top 5 that we'll see. We'll see what you guys have as well.
Okay.
I can go next.
I can go next.
Go for it.
Oh yeah, no, you guys.
Ignacio and Alan and Kyle then.
All right.
I'll go last.
So I'm gonna do honorable mentions first. These are games that do not fit the criteria, but I still want to shout out because they are DLC. The Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island DLC was pretty fun. It had a lot in there, and it was a lot of fun playing the game again because it's a very fun game. The Dragon Ball Z Kakarot Warrior of Hope DLC. As far as DLCs go, that once again it was a very good DLC because it did for the Trunks story what Kakarot did to every other saga, which was have a very substantial story in there and also expand a little bit on it. And the last one would be the DLC for what should have been our game of the year last year, Final Fantasy VII Intermission, which was a lot of fun. Of course, Final Fantasy VII
Remake. You guys know what I just noticed? I'm sorry to interrupt you, Kyle.
How dare you?
Ignacio.
How dare you?
Don't have your
probably been
headphones
hearing you guys in the background on this Audacity. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay. So maybe when I'm not talking, mute me in the audio because it probably hears your voices. In the background.
I haven't been hearing it on Discord, so
maybe
my backup should be fine.
Okay, cool. But Audacity, I think, was probably captured.
Yeah, Audacity might pick it up. Audacity is way more sensible.
Just noticed that.
And good audio starts now.
Remember when we started it? Remember when we started and Gino was like, you guys recording Audacity, right? Like, you made sure we were recording, but look what you did.
Look at that clown.
We've only been doing this for 100-something episodes.
Good job, Gino. Good job, Gino.
So yeah, Intermission. Intermission is a DLC for Final Fantasy VII Remake, one of the best games of the last years.
You mean Intergrade, and you're talking about it like it's
best
the best
game of the last century.
You
honestly, even better than the OG.
You can't even say the right name, Ignacio. When you're talking
about
no. What?
Intergrade is the PS5 upgraded version. Intermission is a DLC. So sucks
more than one thing about your honorable mention.
You do.
Yeah.
All right.
Intergrade is the upgrade.
Maker, you clown.
Okay. All right.
I got kidneys. I'm smart, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, Intermission. And then for my top 6 through 10, like I told you guys before, this could go in any order. I'm not very confident in the 6 through 10 games that I put here, but those are games that I enjoyed.
Well, remember, they're getting points based off of how you have them.
I know.
Okay.
So at number 10, Returnal. Very fun gameplay, but I ended up giving up on it because even though it was a good game, I didn't feel like just keep banging my head on the wall till it broke at some point. At number 9, Far Cry 6. I enjoyed the game. It is as good as the other Far Cry games, but I just didn't play much. I don't know why it didn't grab me, because again, I would put it up there with any other Far Cry game.
Yeah.
Number 8. A game I'm sure none of you have played. Picross S, Genesis and Master System Edition. I just love Picross and I wanted to give it a shout out.
Interesting.
Number 7, Resident Evil Village. I have my problems with the game, but it is a game that I still enjoyed very much. But not enough to put it very highly.
Nice.
And then number 6, Bowser's Fury. Anyone want to fight me on it?
Is that is that just DLC?
I would count it as a new game that came bundled with the...
It seems pretty much like an expansion. Like, you could consider it an expansion, sort of. Because it's not a full game, but it is a substantial amount of
separate
content.
from 3D World.
Just allow it.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, sure. I don't see why not.
Can you repeat your one before Bowser's Fury? That
Resident
was Resident Evil,
Village.
right? Okay.
Village, yeah. Yeah, Bowser's Fury, I think that the game is distinct enough from Mario 3D World to count it as its own. And it was very fun.
Cool.
Nice.
I played that one for a little bit.
All right. Well, you ready, Kyle?
Right. Yeah, go for it, Alan.
All right. So my only honorable mention, I'll give it to Fist, Forge, and Shadow Torch.
Ah,
okay.
Just good old Metroidvania, just goodness.
Is it any good?
It's great. Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Do you platinum that one?
I did.
Oh,
I did. Everything on my list except for one game I platinum.
All right.
Number 10, Metroid Dread.
Okay, wow, pretty low for that.
Okay, 10.
Yeah,
10 with how you falling in love with Metroidvanias. Number 10.
I like the Vania side more than the Metroid side, but
wow.
Number 9, Guilty
like
Gear Strive.
Okay, that's a good one.
Guilty.
Just like that one a lot, and I actually beat my PC friend at it a couple of times when we played in person.
Damn.
Very pretty game.
Number 8, shout out to Andrew, who this was one of his favorite games. Scarlet Nexus is my number 8.
Okay, I still want to play that one. I still want to play that one.
Banging soundtrack. Number 7, also again, shout out to friend of the show, Maze Hobbs. Number 7, Chicory, A Colorful Tale.
Another one I want to play.
Yeah, made a video on that one on YouTube about how much I loved it. Number 6, Near Replicant. Version, all the numbers.
Okay.
Now I'll admit, going for the platinum kind of ruins this game. But if you remove the completion aspect, game's amazing.
That's why it's higher on my list, huh?
Wow.
Wait, no, that's not why it's low on my list. I just really loved my top 5.
Ah, okay, cool.
Like one of my top 5, I literally played twice at the beginning of the year and the end of the year. So there you go.
Nice.
Good stuff. Right. Cool. I guess that means it's my turn, which means my honorable mention goes to Toem. Toem was really cool. It was really good. I keep
seeing that game.
Is that the photography game you like?
Kind of. It's a little misleading to say it's a photography game. It is, but it isn't. It is more of an adventure game. It kind of frames itself around like you have to go from town to town so that you can get to this place and experience Toem, whatever that may be. You don't know what it is. It's a mystery. But as you go from town to town, you just have to help out the town's people with these little chores and stuff. And they're all just right there. And it's super simple. And it's fun. It's a good time. It's well made. It looks neat. It just has an interesting thing. It never felt difficult to do. I had a blast. And it was like 4 hours to beat. Highly recommend it.
Turns out, Toem was the friends we made along the way.
It really was. Okay, so time for my 10 through 6. Number 10 goes to Hitman 3.
Ah, that was like the first game that came out this year, wasn't
it? It really was.
Yeah,
it really was, man. Hitman 3, that was a good one.
Very good one.
After that, my number 9 spot goes to Halo Infinite. And I only played the campain, so I'm opposite of Gino, where I only
played the multiplayer as well.
I played both.
There you go. I like that one a lot. It did. I won't say much, but it did a lot to dig itself out of the grave that they put themselves in.
Oh yeah,
a lot of it worked. A lot of it is still just like I see why you had to do that, but it's just I don't know. But yeah, Halo Infinite, my number 9. My number 8 goes to Chicory. Also, fantastic game. The puzzles really in that are incredible. Yeah, go play it.
I never thought I would like a game where I was so hell bent on coloring everything.
Yeah, you can spend as much time as you want just coloring things and having
Yeah, I know.
fun
It's great
with that. But the puzzles are so good too.
They are.
So after that, my next one goes to Life is Strange: True Colors. I thought that was a fantastic game, a great one from the Life is Strange series. I just happen to like other things better. Like, that's the thing. Like Hitman 3, which is my number 10 spot. I fucking love that game. That game is a master class at what they do. There's just so many good games this year.
It really is.
Life is Strange: True Colors takes, what's that, number 7? Yeah, number 7. So number 6, again, one of my favorite games of the year, The Forgotten City. I loved that game.
I have to play it.
That game's currently on sale on PSN, and I almost want to buy it.
Yeah. Dude, it's 8 hours long. If you like Skyrim, because it was originally a Skyrim mod, it will be to your liking. It's a time loop thing, but they stick the landing. Like it's just like there's only 4 endings, and the like canon one that you're supposed to get to beat the game is just oddly satisfying. Just like, you know what? This was cool. This was fun. This was good.
But does it have a twist where the lovers turn out to be siblings?
Wow, dude. No. Ruined spoiler.
No.
Spoiler I don't even know what game you're talking about, so that's not a spoiler for me.
12 minutes.
Anyways.
No,
12 minutes.
Oh, the one with Willem Dafoe that was like overhyped and then it flopped. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
It was. I would say the first half.
By all means, it should have been amazing.
Yeah,
but God,
if they wouldn't have screwed up the second half of the game.
Yeah. So those are our top 10s, or our 10
Yeah,
that
was it. That was the top 10. There you go.
We're done. Game of the year. Who knows? But
one of those. It's one of those. But okay, I guess we could just go straight into our 5s then here. So we'll each do our 5, then we'll do our 4, then we'll do our 3, then we'll do our 2, then our 1. So I guess we'll just go the same order then. So I'll start with my 5, but before I do that again, my friends,
you're out of focus.
I do want to.
Yeah, you're blurry, bro.
I'm out of focus.
Yeah. Still.
Do you even focus, bro?
Fix yourself.
Come on, Gino, focus. God, what are you doing?
Fix yourself.
You're trying to do a podcast here, Gino.
Do you even focus, bro?
Okay, hold on. Let me change this thing here. Wait, hold on. Everybody wait.
This is a reference. Do you even scan, bro?
Just relax, okay?
Some host not wearing headphones, camera out of focus.
I'm going to a Logitech G Hub right now. Did my thing fix yet? I don't know. I'm not looking.
So should we just loop back to Gino?
Okay.
Like...
No. Okay.
There it is. There we go.
Did I fix it?
Now it's not.
Oh my God, you blurred yourself again.
Did I fix it?
No.
Now it's
there
fixed.
You
go. Okay. There we go. All right.
Damn it, Gino.
You guys can watch the video version over on YouTube.
Okay. All right, guys. But before I mention my 5th one, I do want to circle back around to Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker. And just real briefly touch on it. That's the best game of the year.
20 minutes later. Yeah, real brief.
Masterclass in storytelling, wrapping up a 10-year story. They couldn't have done it any better than they did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I heard that they were so disgraced by the reception of the game that they stopped selling.
They were so disgraced by the reception. They were so successful, Ignacio. Everyone needs to know this. So incredibly successful.
It's Slide Simulator.
So incredibly successful that they had to stop selling the game. They suspended sales of the game because because they couldn't have more people join. So that's a great indicator of how good it is. Okay.
When was the last time you played?
Today. I'm actually I'm going to go back to playing it after this stupid waste of time here because I'm freaking playing Final Fantasy. I was playing earlier.
Why don't you go wait in queue? Maybe by the time we finish it, you'll be halfway through.
Well, there's not that much of a queue anymore.
Yeah. That many people abandoned ship? Yeah.
Maybe you should play the game, Ignacio. And then you'll realize.
I can't.
You can't. Anyway, so Final Fantasy, it's not going to be on my top 5 because it's just not fair to video games in general. You know what I mean? It's just not fair how good that game is.
So you're literally not counting it. It's too good. You're not counting it.
It's too good that it's like this is like so far above anything on my list.
Could have been an honorable mention, but all right.
Yeah. I mean, this is more than honorable mention. It's far beyond that, Alan. This is where, like I mentioned it before my honorable mentions, and now before I say my top 5, and then after I'm finished with my list, I'm gonna mention it again just so you guys know.
Final Fantasy fans everywhere disappointed in Gino. Fake fan.
Fake fan.
Whoa.
I heard he already abandoned the game.
You guys are like twisting my words right now for some reason. I don't get it. Like
it didn't even make your top 10, dude.
Directly after I say something, you're saying the opposite of what I'm saying.
Alan went to sleep.
Okay. All right. So let me start my number 5 here. So my number 5. None of you guys mentioned this game.
Right? Amaze Hobbs says #fake fan.
Amaze Hobbs.
Yep. Got him.
It's trying to go back to the game. Can't even do it. All right. Okay, so my number 5, none of you guys mentioned this game. And I think a lot of people should think about this game again. Little Nightmares 2.
I think the game you said that was your game of the year.
When I first played it.
Are we doing the same thing? That game's on my list. So.
Oh, it's on your list?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, actually then
good
is it higher on your list?
Alan.
Is it higher on your list, Alan?
It is higher on my list.
Okay, we'll talk about it when we get to yours.
Oh, fake.
So,
cool.
So let's go to Ignacio then.
Number 5. It was hard for me to choose the spots 3 through 5, which spot to put each one of those because this could go either way. But number 5, Metroid Dread.
Okay. Nice.
Anyone has it higher? On 5? Oh,
not me. Didn't even play.
So I'm the only other person who had on my list, and it was lower.
Oh my god. Okay, so nice. Metroid Dread, like I said when we reviewed it or talked about it, Metroid Dread is just another Metroid, but in a very good way, where it's the same fun you got with Super Metroid. Same fun, but it is prettier. It has newer mechanics, and it is on of course a newer console. But still, Metroid games are very fun and they're very good. And so Metroid Dread is just the culmination of all Metroid games. It's just might be one of the best Metroidvanias out there.
Okay, cool.
Solid.
Nice. Metroid Dread.
I'm gonna be honest though, Ignacio. Metroid Dread really good. Soundtrack kind of unremarkable. I only remember the Emmys music when it chases you, and that's it.
Yeah, but you're playing a game. You're not listening to a record.
I'm sorry. Music is like
a part of the gaming
experience.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Relax. Music is important.
Wow. All right.
Fuck, man.
Plays all his games on mute.
Actually, a lot of games that I play on my Switch, I played
turns the music volume all the way down.
Ignacio boosts the game up, goes in the setting, and he goes to BGM, and he goes, "All right, let's put that to 0. All right, solid. We're
not
set
even
to go."
that. A lot of games that I play on my Switch, I play without headphones and with the sound turned off.
I don't play with headphones either, but I saw the music go. Yeah, what the fuck?
Because I'm not there for the music.
And you give me shit for not playing with the fucking adaptive triggers, and you're over here. I don't play with them.
But Alan, you should get shit for that too.
At least mine's not as bad as Ignacio's.
You'll get shit.
I play games that don't need music. I played Metroid Dread with headphones. I play games on my Switch that don't require music. I don't need the people next door to hear what I'm playing.
Yeah, they do. The music, when you play a game and the music fucking slaps, you gotta show that to everybody.
Like, yeah, Final Fantasy has the best music in any game ever.
Dude,
yeah, and I play Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Amaze Hobbs in the chat, right again. #fake Sony fan.
Yeah. I played Final Fantasy VII, the original one, on my Switch with headphones. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS4, on PS5 with headphones. It's just that most of the games that I play on Switch are not games that I need to hear what's going on.
I'm I adamantly disagree, but all right, you
Anyways.
do.
Anyways.
All right, so you're next.
Alan, it's your turn.
So my number 5 was It Takes Two.
That's higher on my list.
Yep, I figured it would be.
Yeah.
Yep.
So okay, we'll talk about that after this.
Yep, It Takes Two. Hey, Gino, I guess when we get there, it's gonna take 2 to talk about it.
Hey, let's not get sued though. Relax.
Wow.
Let's relax.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, you're up next.
Okay. Speaking of 2, my number 5 spot goes to Psychonauts 2.
Oh.
Nice.
Anyone else have that higher? No?
Did not play it.
Okay.
Did not play it.
Psychonauts 2 is incredible. Sure, it is more of a retro platformer, so it might feel older to some people, but just the amount of creativity that went into that game is outstanding. It's phenomenal. Each level is basically like the inside of another character's mind, and what is inside their mind is it's what they're thinking about, it's what they're fearing, it's what they're dreading. It's all of the stuff. Gino, you're still messing with
I'm messing with it. I'm messing with it.
Over here. Right, but like it's all of their psyches, and you get to dig around in them and mess with it in ways that feels both satisfying and uncomfortable. You do a lot of stuff in there that's just like, ooh, I don't know if that was the right move, and you realize, yeah, I think the main character fucked up. Like, I don't know, he has to fix this now. And it's a fun game. It's satisfying to play and run around and collect things, and it has a pretty damn good soundtrack. Not that Ignacio would know, but it has a great soundtrack as well. So. Go play Psychonauts 2. It's great. I loved it.
Nice. Oh, my turn. Okay. All right. So my number 4. My number 4 is Nier Replicant.
Yep, that's my number 6.
So Nier Replicant, I only did one ending.
Oh my god, you didn't get the full story.
So I didn't get the full story, but I'm going to continue it. But the initial ending A, was so powerful for me that I just made my top 5 because that game is so incredible. Everything about the game specifically when it comes to gameplay, it's so kinetic, it's fast, it's fun. Running around is like, there's barely a fast travel system, but running around is just so fun to do because of how they do it. Battling is so fun with the different skills and all that stuff, and then just like the characters, just plain and simple, the characters in this game are so impactful. Kaine, and Emil, your companions that go through this journey with you, they're so incredible, so memorable. And
it feels like a Gino game. Like it seems like one that you would like.
It really is that kind of game for me. Especially, being so invested in soundtracks in video games. So Ignacio.
The soundtrack is so good.
This is the new Cuphead. Like Ignacio not liking the music is the new
Gino,
Cuphead.
When you're running around, because you said no fast travel, but that music that plays while you're running around is so good.
Constantly, yeah. So there's always an incredible soundtrack playing, and it has there's a connection with me because some of those soundtracks bleed into Final Fantasy as well. Because they have Nier battles in Final Fantasy, and they take from Replicant and from Automata, and they take all that from those games. So I have sort of different experiences with that music. One being in Final Fantasy and one being in Nier. So I connected both of those in a way that was just so strong for me, and Nier just it's just so good. That's why I when we were discussing yesterday to allow that, because it released internationally first, and then over here later.
We never got Replicant. We got near guest. We got near Gestalt. Japan got Replicant. Yeah,
exactly. So that released over there. I think in 2010 or something. And
a long time ago.
They remade it for here pretty much. And it's apparently a remaster, but at the same time they never really like confirmed if this is a remaster or remake or whatever.
It's really just a remaster. They didn't really change anything. They added. Do you remember the sea boat section, Gino?
Mm-hmm.
That's new. That's new.
Okay, so but yeah, this game felt like this game came out more than 10 years ago. I don't believe it. Like this game felt new in the time that it came out. So
you want to
cool.
You want to hear a fun fact about the soundtrack, Gino?
Yeah.
I watched a video essay on Replicant years ago, and it turns out that the artist that sings all the vocals, you cannot understand the vocals no matter what, because the singer that made the vocals, she is fluent in all kinds of different languages. She dubbed it chaos language, so that the music, the vocals, all that you hear is her taking different parts of languages and slamming them together and rearranging it. So even if you listen to it, you actually can't understand the vocals at all.
Wow.
It's meant to make the world seem more foreign, because you only did one ending, but like, man, you are not ready for just the emotions you're gonna feel in other endings, which is just gonna make the music hit even harder.
I'm
like
so
you're
excited.
You're not ready.
Yeah. So yeah, near Replicant, incredible. My number 4. So Ignacio, you're up now, number 4.
My number 4 game is Deathloop. Once again, talking about time loop games. Deathloop.
I have it higher on my list.
Okay, so we'll wait for that one.
Just FYI.
Yeah. So my number 4 is Resident Evil Village.
Okay.
That one is mine. No one has it higher?
Fuck that game.
3.
Fuck that game. So, I mean, I do agree with Ignacio. Resident Evil Village is great. It's not everything I want it to be, but considering Resident Evil 4 is my favorite Resident Evil game of the whole series, Village does a great job, kind of, at least in the earlier sections, does make the game pretty eerie with its horror themes and pretty spooky. But I also love that kind of mix of Resident Evil 4's like high action, gun upgrades, the shop. Like, Village just has this great balance of the horrors and atmosphere with the action of Resident Evil 4 before Resident Evil and Capcom kind of went too hard and had to do a reset on it. But the story, it's kind of whatever. I mean, it's Mold Ethan gets his hand cut off. It's pretty cool, but
spoilers, man.
Sorry, well, it's been almost a year. You've had time to play.
That relation sucked.
We can spoil stuff here.
Yeah,
it's end of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the gameplay. I mean, everyone talks about it. The baby part, just so good.
Is that the doll?
Baby,
the doll?
Yeah, it's the dollhouse. Yeah.
I stopped there. So I stopped when we got to the dollhouse, and then it was so suspenseful for like the first 15 minutes of being in there. Nothing scares you, and you're just wondering what's gonna happen.
Yep.
And that's when I deleted it.
To be fair, I would say that after that section it goes down.
Okay.
Yes,
so,
I will admit that after the dollhouse, the game's not that the game itself quality goes down, but the atmosphere and tone the game had before that kind of starts getting lost.
Yeah.
That's where the game kind of becomes more of its more actiony Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 style.
I see.
But again, if you like the gunplay and you like the gameplay, that's not really a bad thing. Again, it kind of strikes this middle balance. It doesn't do it perfectly, but it tries its best.
And if you bought it,
and I loved it.
If you bought it for the big booba lady, that's in the beginning. So
there you go.
Hat lady.
Yeah.
Gino, get your mind out of the gutter. She has a huge hat.
Very big hat.
Yeah, that's the only thing that she.
Hey, we're in 2022. 2021 was hashtag big titty goth GF.
You know what you need for big hats though? Big racks. So.
Hey, Kyle, you're not alone. You're not alone. All those thirsty people got the voice actors to get.
Oh my god! Yeah,
and she won.
She looked great. Let's be honest.
Let me be honest. It wasn't a bad acting. It was good, but I think that Lady Dimitrescu being there was more because of the thirsty people out there. Thirsty for Lady Dimitrescu. Nothing against her acting, but let's be honest.
I mean, and with the spoilers, I'm really excited. Hopefully for the next Resident Evil game where I want to play. I want to play as Ethan's daughter. Let's go. I'm all in on that. Let's go.
I hope that's where it goes with how it ended. My problems with the game are more not about the quality of the game. The quality is very high. My problem with it is that I feel like it's gonna be repeating the same mistakes that Resident Evil already went through.
I mean, it probably will.
Yeah, because you know that Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 were very horror games, and then 4 through 6 it started going for a more action game, and then 7 was the return to basics. It was them returning to survival horror, and I feel like now Resident Evil 8 is going now once again going more towards action once again.
Yeah. And I understand that, but again, like Capcom's also in a tough place because it's tough for them because they have to appease the survival horror people of the OG, but there are people that do really enjoy the actiony side. So it's kind of tough because Capcom, I mean, they could split it off, but then that just kind of makes it all more confusing story wise. So that's why I like Village because it tried to meet somewhat in the middle.
Yeah. I would like to see Jill back.
Yeah. Jill
as a sandwich?
Yeah.
No, I really
for
like
me,
the
that's a Resident Evil. It's a reference.
For me, the best parts of the game were the Castle Dimitrescu and where the Dollhouse were. Castle Dimitrescu to me felt more like Resident Evil 7 or more like the original Resident Evils, where it was you are in this one place, you have to figure out how to unlock doors and how this one piece with this one other piece. It is more like a Metroidvania, and you have the threat of Lady Dimitrescu and the sisters hunting you down. And then the Dollhouse was a very good example of them doing horror very well. Unfortunately, then after that, it is where my problems start because it stops being that horror, that survival horror, and it goes more towards the action where you are outside, you are fighting constantly, you are running around the village. On broad daylight.
I'm sorry the game didn't really work for you, Ignacio. Hopefully the next one will. Or a future game will.
This was your 4?
This was my 4. This was number 4.
And also
that's all I got. That's it.
That Ethan twist wasn't necessary.
Oh well. Kyle?
I didn't play it. So,
no, you're number 4.
Well, you didn't play?
I didn't play Resident
Evil. A conversation about Lady Dimitrescu with you.
It's too scary.
Who would have thought?
The big blue is scary.
Right.
Yeah. Kena. Bridge of Spirits. Kena.
Higher on my list.
Tomato. I
was going to say Gino, but it wasn't.
God, whenever I think of Kena, I always remember the clip I made of Ignacio or of Gino where he threatened me because I said it wrong.
Yeah.
I always remember that.
A lot of people pronounce it wrong, and it's a dumb freaking reason, you know?
What, is it Kena?
Kena.
All right, Kane pronounced it.
Oh, yeah, okay, so that's my turn. All right.
Kena.
Number 3, okay. All right. It Takes Two.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay. So you had it, what number was it for you?
It was 5 for me.
5 for you. Okay, so It Takes Two. It Takes Two was probably one of the most creative games I've ever played in my life.
And you didn't put it in the number 2 spot?
No, I have two very important games to me there. But It Takes Two was a very well deserved Game of the Year at the Game Awards. I'm so glad that game won, because it deserves that kind of award. It was
just kidding.
I heard Deathloop masterclass in game design. I don't think so. I think It Takes Two was a masterclass in game design, to be honest with you.
So fun to play. The
creativity, the imaginative levels and puzzles and all that stuff, and just the way the co-op works too. Just where every single section that you get to, every level that you get to, or whatever, you and your partner have something different to worry about. But it all meshes well together either way. Story not as strong as the gameplay. But
how does the daughter just not realize her parents are comatose? Like what is happening?
It was a cute story though, about a serious subject, and I think
family game, right?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. It was voted. It was nominated.
That and 12 minutes. Good family games.
Freaking
hey, 12 minutes. It's about family. Turns out.
And you gotta shout out the MVP throughout the game. Just when you're playing with a friend, all of those little mini games that you can find and explore. And
yeah, they're so incredible. They're so incredible. Yeah, it's such a fun game. There's the different moments where. Some that I could point out, Alan, that you probably remember is when one of you is driving the plane and the other one of you is doing a fighter on top, like you're a 2D fighting game on top while someone's flying the plane.
That's wild.
And then there's another where it's a Diablo style. One of you has magic and one of you has like sword and shield or whatever, and then it does that, and then you're going through dungeons, and it's just the variety of things that happens is so incredible.
It's kind of funny you mentioned that because like some parts of Nier Replicant and Automata, it mixes in those other genres of gameplay in the game.
I did not mention that. Yeah, it does that as well. Yeah.
It's so good when it does that.
Yeah, It Takes Two is definitely, if you have someone that you want to do a co-op game with, that is the best co-op game I've ever played in my life. There's nothing else I would recommend to do between you and a friend.
Yeah. That was an incredible game. Kind of what stopped me from playing it, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to, and I just didn't get the chance to at the start. And then now that I can play the game, it's like, well, everyone's already played it, so. I'm sad that I missed out on that one.
And that's the only reason I didn't put it higher on my list, because I feel like if you're playing It Takes Two with a random person or by yourself, the game is nowhere near as solid. It's only really solid if you're playing with a friend or someone that you're close with. That's what enhances the experience. That's the reason I didn't put it higher, but it was still great by itself.
Yeah. No, it was incredible.
So I don't know. Maybe one day Gino will be friends with me and play it.
I don't really play games.
I'm just gonna.
I don't replay games, Kyle. I'm telling you right now. I don't replay games. Sorry to tell you.
But wait,
I was done. One and done, dude. I'm good. That game was great.
Platinumed it. Woo!
I did not platinum it. And I didn't do all the mini games either, which
I only like the platinum because there's a trophy for climbing. Where's that part? You know where there's that giant ass tower that you can climb on? That platforming challenge.
Yeah.
That's a trophy, and I didn't know that. I was just like, dude, I want to climb this. This is so fucking fun.
And I don't even have
the game. Was like, trophy, you did it. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah,
I don't even have the game. That's the other thing. I use the friend pass, and my friend bought the game. So only one person has to buy the game, and then the other one.
So you didn't even support the creator?
Wow. Fake gamer, man.
Fake game. Yeah. Poor Joseph Ferris.
They have more money than I do.
Poor Joseph Ferris.
Okay, so that was
Joseph
my
Ferris
number.
Gonna come find you. He's gonna go, fuck Gino Viteri.
Yep.
All right, Ignacio, you're number 3 now.
My number 3 game is Ratchet and Clank.
Ooh.
I have it higher.
Okay.
Wow.
Whoa, really? That game was not that good, dude.
Who would have guessed?
What did you say, Gino?
All right.
Maybe you're just not a good gamer, Gino.
I'll talk about it as well.
Well, Gino, it's our turn again because my number 3 is Little Nightmares 2.
Hey. Wait, we just switched them.
Yeah, we did just switch, yeah. You had It Takes Two higher, and I had Little Nightmares 2 higher.
Yeah.
So Little Nightmares 2, I like this game. So when it first came out, I had a PS4 version, and when I was going through to record footage to maybe do another video updated version on it, I noticed that I had the PS5 version, and I was like, oh, well, I'll play it for fun to get my footage. And then I guess the PS5 trophy list was set from PS4, and I didn't know that. And I was like, oh, I can earn trophies again? I was like, all right, platinum. Why not? But then I played it, and I was like, damn, I sat down in one whole ass afternoon and just played the whole game again. I was like, fuck, this game is so good.
It really is. Yeah, that's why I feel so bad that I didn't see it talked about a lot when Game of the Year came around. I don't think I saw it in any category at all. But this is
you wait for my number one.
Well, this is one of those incredible platformers, dude. And again, it's one of those things where I dropped Resident Evil because it was too scary. And this you can consider a horror game, but not really.
Those mannequins.
Yeah, dude. When I first played it, the mannequin part freaked me out.
That was so scary.
Dude.
So that's the part of that's the thing about the Little Nightmares series in general, is that it's so uneasy and so unsettling, and it's scary too. But it's possible to do if you aren't a fan of horror games. You know what I mean?
And you get those areas of the game where the music just adds to the overall creepiness. Or sometimes you get to what is it, the mannequin area? There's no music there, and it makes it so like
and you
it's
just
the
hear
lack of
music
creaking. That makes it so great.
Shuffling, So to me, it's like it's not scary in the sense that it feels like you're trapped in some room and there's this monster that and you have no idea how to get it out, but it feels scary in the sense that it's pushing you, like it's pushing you to get to the next thing, to get to the next platform. So it like that's why I felt like I could play the game, because I also don't like scary games, but I never felt stuck with the game, except a few of the puzzle stuff. But like with the scary stuff in particular, it was enough. Like it was scary to, it's like, okay, run faster, go this way, go.
It reminds me of Bloodborne. Like Bloodborne itself isn't scary. It's not scary. It's just that kind of, it's those horror grotesque things that you see. Like Little Nightmares 2 isn't scary. It just has those things that are meant to make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. And it's just the twists in it too.
Oh my god!
Because there's no spoken dialogue in this game at all, but you're following a story that you understand, and once you get to the end, you realize I think we could spoil it or whatever.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say really quick was like that ending hit me and stuck with me when I first played it, and then I replayed it like a month, several weeks ago. The ending hit just as hard almost a year later. Yeah,
so I still think about that, because like they had this like they like to use horror tropes that are in mythology, and so, like Slender Man. So we had sort of a Slender Man character in this game that would constantly
the Thin Man
that would constantly chase us throughout. Like it was the sort of the main bad guy that you would think of in Little Nightmares 2. And what Little Nightmares 2 did different from the first one was that you had a companion character that helped you there. And in the end, the twist being that it's just your companion is that bad guy the entire time, but you're in that time loop. So it was another time loop game that came out that year.
Well, because the game also does a great job, because throughout the game, you and your companion the whole time, you'll have to make jumps where you're hoping for her to catch you. And at the end, it's that thing where she catches you and you're like, all right, we're going to make it. And the game fucks with you, because then the music kind of dies down a little and it zooms in, and then the music just kicks in as she pulls her hand away and drops you, and you're like, what the fuck, dude?
That's the ultimate betrayal at the end. Dude.
Yeah.
And then you just like, it just zooms around to like back to the beginning pretty much. And it's like, it's such an incredible, another thing with the soundtrack that is just so impactful too. When
Ignacio wouldn't understand.
If it was on Switch, he'd probably have it, muted. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, Little Nightmares 2 is freaking incredible. It should have gotten way more attention than it did. And I hope we see more from that studio. With games similar like this.
My number 3.
Your number 3.
My number 3.
Yeah, very good game. Very good. And I believe Kyle is next now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alan won.
Yep. So my next one is Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you guys have that?
I have it
higher up. Okay.
Damn. Okay.
Ignacio's like, number 1, baby. Let's go.
Okay. What's number 9? What's mine? My number 2.
You're number 2.
My number 2. Kyle, Life is Strange: True Colors.
Oh.
Number 2 on my list. I assume you already know my number 1 is from that, but number 2, Life is Strange: True Colors. This game is a game that I still think about. Not for how it ended or whatever, but just the moments in general, and how it felt, the things that I felt while playing it and stuff like that. And I recently sort of went back to it because my sister played it recently. She played it like a month ago, and she beat it. And then I found myself talking about it again, with her and discussing those moments and like, what did you do in this situation? Like, what did you do in that situation? And just thinking about everything that happens in that game again, and the choices you make, and the characters and all that stuff. It was such another Geno-esque game, dude, and it was really
especially with the
incredible.
Music.
Yes,
that's been a theme this year. But I know you like the specific like needle drops, like when a song is playing real loud, and you're like looking at the scenery, and you're just like, "Yo, this is cool."
When that first happened, literally the first 2 minutes of the game, when you're on that bridge, and then it starts playing a song, and it lets you like look at the scenery. I'm like, "Oh shit!" So the whole song is gonna play as long as I stay here. And then I did that. I did that for every single chance. Yeah, I did that for every single chance that it happened. I listened to the whole song. I even downloaded some songs. I did all that stuff. I loved the character, main character too. Yeah.
Is this your first Life is Strange game?
No, it's the first Life is Strange game that I finished. I played the first one. For a bit, didn't get through it. So I'm actually waiting, because of how much I love this one. I'm waiting for the collection, the remastered collection. So I can play through all of them again, as new. But yeah, Alex Chen is someone that I will always have a crush on, for history now. In my list of fictional characters, Alex Chen is somebody that I love. And Steph as well.
Steph is great.
Yeah. Just an incredible cast of characters.
Let me ask you this: how did you feel about Chapter 3? This is the one for those of you guys who don't know. Chapter 3 basically changes the gameplay style. It becomes a town LARP. Like the whole town is trying to cheer up this kid who's been having a rough time. So the whole town gets in on this like live action role play D&D session, and you like walk around the town and get to fight all these people and fight bad guys, and it's basically an RPG. Like in that one.
That sounds
chapter.
really awesome, actually.
No, it's extremely cool. It becomes like a turn-based RPG, Alan. And then so it's sort of like it does that within the town, like they're acting like as if they're they're LARPing and stuff like that. And then the final battle actually changes to look like that fantasy, like where you're seeing the fire arrows and the healing stuff, and it's like it's just such a cool moment in that game. That really, it shocked me. Yeah, it surprised me entirely. Like I did not expect it at all.
I was not expecting that one.
Yeah, like to have MP and the health bar and use potions and stuff like that. Like it was just, it was so cool. It was that. But there are just moments like that in that game that surprised me. And then the final moment when you make the decision to forgive or not. With the person that hurt you, and that twist too was so crazy to me. At the end there, that was another thing that I am a sucker for freaking twists. Like if there's I was the bad guy all along. Like I love that kind of stuff. That moment where it's sort of like all emotions are being released and you feel it too if you've like connected with these characters, I loved it. I loved it so much. I continue to think about that game, and I still have yet to play Wavelengths, and I want to play Wavelengths with Steph, so I need to play that DLC as well. But yeah, number 2, Life is Strange: True Colors.
That sounds like a very solid pick. If that game goes on sale, I'll buy it.
Oh, it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
Checking out. Good story. Good to play with your partner.
So my only question is, do I because you said you didn't finish the other ones. Can I play this one by itself, or should I play the prior ones?
It's a different story. Yeah, it's different characters and all.
Steph is the only returning character from the prequel to the first one, which is Life is Strange Before the Storm, but you don't need to know her backstory in that.
Okay.
So, I didn't know that. Cool.
All right, solid. Thanks, guys.
Cool. All right, Ignacio.
So for most of the year, games kept coming out and games I kept enjoying, but no game got up there where I would say, okay, this is my game of the year. I had games that I said, okay, this is the game that I enjoyed the most, so by default it would be my game of the year so far.
Interesting.
So that was until my number 2 game came out. And then my number 1 game came out. So I've been debating as to whether or not these 2 games that I have on number 1, number 2, where to place them both, because those are both games that I would consider games of the year for me. So because I have maybe more issues with number 2, I decided to put it at number 2. So my number 2 game is Lost Judgment. Lost Judgment, if you do not know, is the sequel to Judgment.
Yeah, I wonder what number 1 is.
It's the sequel to Judgment, which is a spin-off of the Yakuza series. And Lost Judgment, of course, keeps on going with the DNA of the Yakuza games, where the story is very good, and as you keep going, it keeps getting better and better. And there's a mystery, and then that mystery, you discover that that wasn't the whole story, because there's a twist, and there's another twist, and another twist, and go on and go on and go on. And also, the gameplay of Lost Judgment is so good. As you might know, Yakuza, the main Yakuza series with Yakuza 7 have changed the gameplay to be, instead of an action beat 'em up, it's now a turn-based game. And like I argued before, that doesn't really lend itself very well to the type of story that the games are portraying. The Judgment series now is what's keeping that DNA going with the beat 'em up style gameplay, and it is the best this series has been so far. It plays the best, it is the most pretty, and again, the story is so good. The final chapter of the game was, from beginning to end, so great. With the story, with the fighting opportunities that you're presented, with the moral dilemmas that are presented. It is that type of ending that makes you wonder, is this the right thing? Was the quote-unquote bad guy doing actually the right thing, or was it wrong, or is it good? Is the law always right, or is there or could the law be wrong, and should we do something about it? It is that type of story. The reason
damn, I want it.
Are you gonna play Judgment before it isn't necessary. I would recommend it.
I will play Judgment first. It needs to go on a better sale. I don't want to buy it for fucking $30.
It is worth way more than that.
Again, now without playing it, it's not.
Judgment and Lost Judgment are great games. You do not need to play Judgment before Lost Judgment, but I would recommend playing it.
That's all I need to hear.
I would recommend playing Judgment because it is as good as the other one. You would get the backstories of the characters, which isn't necessary for Lost Judgment, but it is nice to know. The only reason this is my number 2 and not my number 1 is that there are moments in the game where I'm doing something that I do not want to do. There are down moments where I would be going through the story, and then there's a moment where they tell me, okay, this character is going to call you eventually, or you are going to meet this character at some other time. Go do something else. They literally tell you, go do something else, go walk, do whatever. And you have to kill time. It is...
You do realize that's for you to go enjoy the world and go exploring, right?
Yeah, but they are making you do that.
And I don't want to do that sometimes, Alan, okay?
Yeah, I do not want to do that.
You like the Yakuza world so much. Hey, go explore and have fun.
I do not do Alan, as you might know, I do not do side stories on these things.
But Ignacio, they do have side stories for that, right? Like, so you could kill time.
No, yeah, you have things to do. You have things to do that you could go do. One of the main settings of the game is a high school. A lot of things happen in that high school. So one of the side activities that you can do is that you join the detective club of the high school, and you get certain cases that you could go and do, or talk to the classmates, or go to random events around the town.
That's cool. That sounds cool. I really want to play that.
My only problem is when a game tells you, hey, we are not gonna let you progress the game unless you go kill time doing something else. And that's one of my problems. But other than that, again, the gameplay is great. The story is great. The side stories, even though I'm not into the side stories, they are still good. They are still fun to do. But when I play these games, I prefer to go through the main story instead of the side stories.
All right. All right, number 2 for Alan now.
Did Kyle do his number 3?
Yeah, it's Guardians, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 3 was Guardians.
Yeah, so then you gotta do Kyle, because if you go back to me, then I'm at my number 2.
No,
he did his number 3. That's Ignacio's number 1.
Jesus, spoilers, Gino.
Right.
Yeah. So it's your turn next, Alan.
So you're gonna do 2, and then Kyle's doing his 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So my number 2, which I know probably none of you played this year. This is the main reason I wanted. This is the main reason I wanted games wanted to be on here. Is yes, it is the Great Ace
Cuphead.
Attorney Chronicles that came out.
So.
Never actually localized for the West. Came out for the first time for us in the collection. And let me tell you, lovable characters, amazing writing. Shu Takumi of Capcom, he fucking crushes the writing. Like there are so many moments throughout, even like the first Great Ace Attorney game, that like the writing is so solid, and the music as it fades in and swells literally like makes my eyes water because it just hits so hard. Like there's some characters in the game that like you don't really like or trust, and it's like, oh well, these characters are kind of shitty, but like they're not meant to be likable, and they're written so perfectly. But overall, like I've grown to love every character in this game, and I'm so glad when I was looking up the history that Shu Takumi, when he was making the crossover Layton and Ace Attorney game, they had a B team take over the main series. So then Shu was able to actually make the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which is like a prequel, which is like the great ancestor of Phoenix.
Okay.
And he got to just pretty much restart the story. And oh my God, he fucking crushed the opportunity. And there's only 2. And honestly, I wouldn't want any more. I think this collection of 2 games is perfect.
Cool.
Like, I can't talk about the story without, because it's a game you really need to play. Like I can't tell you things because it won't hit or really make any sense without everything built around and upon it. But God.
And these are visual novels, right? That's what they are.
Yes, visual novel puzzle games. So you pretty much talk to people. It's literally a visual novel.
Yeah. The
gameplay is you're in courtrooms or you're investigating, so you're meant to use your evidence and witness testimony to contradict witnesses or the jury or even your rival prosecutor to be able to reach the truth. And let me tell you, some of the puzzles are really fucking hard. Not in like the fact of, oh, like you have to take such a leap and logic to figure it out, but just the fact that like it's so clever with how it sprinkles small information that it's so easy to miss, that when you're finally revealed it, you're like, oh my God, I could have seen the visual the whole time, but it escaped me. Because it literally hides the answer in just plain sight, and you just miss it because the writing has you so captivated in the moment. God,
that's cool.
Alan, I think you would enjoy Lost Judgment. It
I
is
probably
another
would.
detective game.
Yeah. And yeah, I've learned when I was going through my list of games and even these games, most of my games either had a fucking bomb ass soundtrack or they got me emotional. Like that seems to be what my great games of 2021 were just emotional OST bangers.
I think you'd really like Final Fantasy 14 online as well.
I probably.
I
hear there's no free trial until level 60 anymore.
There's not.
Yeah.
Nobody can play it. Nobody can
also,
play
I
it.
think you might enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, I heard Guardians gameplay was
from whom?
Was kind of lackluster, and sorry.
From whom?
Your story can be fantastic. I like great stories, but if your gameplay is kind of middling, sorry, your story's not going to save you.
Oh yeah,
Fuck
how's the gameplay of Great Ace Attorney? Huh?
It's a puzzle game. It's tested my brain. Guardians is some fucking bejumbled mess of middling
Your gameplay
combat.
is literally next sentence.
It's a different game.
I'm sorry, Ignacio, that my game requires me to use my brain and actually think logically. I'm sorry your games aren't testing you.
Why would you play Guardians?
All right, but that was my number 2.
Okay, so
Cool.
now Kyle's number 2.
You will not guess my number 1.
Yeah, I can actually guess your number 1 though.
number 2, Deathloop. Deathloop is my number 2.
Nice.
So I'm assuming that's not going to be Gino or Alan's number 1.
It's gonna be Alan's number 1.
Yeah, I do want to mention something. I want to let you guys know this. And this is something I'm going to go on with for the year 2022 and from now on. This is an admittance. I think I've talked about this before, actually. I'm not a fan of first-person shooters. Not a fan.
Same.
Not a fan.
That's fair.
And I've tried to give these a try. You know, like I tried Doom Eternal, which is an incredible game for a lot of people. Did not get invested in it. Tried Deathloop. Was not invested in it. Okay. Halo Infinite. Tried campaign. Whatever. You know.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Deathloop, while yes, technically a first-person game, I wouldn't describe this game as a first-person shooter.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Gameplay looks pretty first-person shooter.
And I can understand it.
I think, you know what, I'm actually more specifically, just first-person games in general. Yeah. I think just first-person in general, I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest with you.
So you want to see, you like seeing the booty shooting.
Exactly. Yeah. I love seeing my
the
character.
Booty shooties. I love it.
I love seeing my character because of, and then here's the thing, first person, I don't know, man. I don't really fall for first person games. I don't get into.
That's okay. Yeah. So Deathloop is more so in my mind in interactive. It's a sim, right? It's an interactive sim. Yes, you can go in guns blazing. Yes, you can do more stealthy, which is how I played because I like stealth games. But I think a problem with these immersive sims is that if you want to play one, you're sitting down for 2 or 3 hours to play that, and you really have to be invested in that story and that world and stuff like that. And Arcane makes a phenomenal immersive sims. Prey was fucking fantastic, and you all should go play it because it's amazing. But yeah, I
got lost in space playing Prey, and I was out.
God, that game is amazing. It is so good.
It was good,
but it really shows that Arcane is really trying to push the envelope in how they design their games, because they took that immersive sim gameplay and then broke it up into these smaller bite-sized chunks. So it is more run based of, I can sit down and play something for 15 minutes, or I can play for half an hour. Or if you want to be there for 2 hours, you can, and just explore and find all of that stuff. And it's just in terms of pure gameplay, I thought this was incredible. I thought this was just brilliant. How they could make something like that work, because that would be a problem that I would be like, I don't know, maybe it's just a regular immersive sim. I don't know. But yeah, to see them do stuff like that with this type of game is like, there's nothing else like this out there. So it was good. It was fun. I do have to say, it didn't get my game of the year because the ending sucked.
That ending sucked. Yeah,
I did not like the ending. I thought it felt extremely flat at the end. And unfortunately, there's kind of no real reason to go back and keep playing the game after it. I just felt like there was still some loose ends that could have been explained better in the story. But that being said, I liked the characters. I liked the dialogue. I liked the story that was there until the end, and that was just like, well, okay, not game of the year.
They wrapped a beautiful box, but man, they didn't know how to tie a bow to save their life.
It's like, you get a nice steak dinner, and it looks fantastic. You start eating it, oh man, it tastes great. You're having a ball, and then like that last bite, they like burnt the end, like that last bite, and you're just like, oh. Okay. Well, that kind of ruins the experience. So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Arcane, I would say that their thing is making games that are games with the motto of play it your way. You saw that with Dishonored and Dishonored 2, where one of the main things of Dishonored was that you could play it. You were dropped into this one area, you got a mission, see how you do it. You had to take down this one powerful person. Okay, you could go through the door, through the sewers, through the rooftops.
Yeah.
You could face them and just kill them straight up, or you could find a way to do it non-lethally. And that was pretty much the whole thing with Dishonored and Dishonored 2. And I think Deathloop is a bit of an evolution with that, where you are given a task that is break the loop. You have these visionaries, you have to kill them all in one loop. How do you do it? And most of the game is you going into these 4 different areas of finding out, oh, okay, this guy is here this one time of the day, but it isn't here that one time of the day, and this one place in this one time of the day there are 2 visionaries or 3 visionaries. Okay, so I could go there and kill these 3, then I go to this one other area that has 2. It is very much a game where, okay, you have this puzzle, you have this one mission, go figure out how you're going to do it. And I like that it does it so very well. And again, we talked about how this has been the year of the time loop. This game, I would say that it does succeed with the time loop, where the time loop mechanic is used very well for the gameplay, for the story. But again, Kyle, like you said, the ending, it just falls flat, where you are building up towards this mystery. Okay, everything is set up. I did it all. I got them all in one take. Okay, I'm going to go finish it off. I'm going to go find this one place that I'm trying to get to this whole game. I'm going to do it. I get there, and it falls off. And it just ends all of a sudden.
Yeah. Like,
so, yeah. For a game that has been pretty complex with how the story was getting, the story was being presented, and how complex the gameplay is, the ending was surprisingly flat, which was very disappointing.
Dang.
All right.
I agree.
So that was your number 2, right, Kyle? So now we're on number 1.
Yes, that was my number 2.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Game
what is it,
of
Gino?
the year.
My number 1, my friends, is Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Oh my
I knew
god.
Now, little asterisk. This is number 1 below Final Fantasy 14 and Walker Seekers. No?
Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Nope.
Just
so
didn't even make your top 10, dude.
So Kena is 1.5.
Kena is 1.5, yeah. So I tweeted something, just so you guys can stop talking up my ass. Look, I tweeted this. And this is why I tweeted, this is why I'm saying Endwalker is above number 1. Because I said, to be honest, I think Final Fantasy 14 is going to take over the industry, and it's going to be the only game that anybody plays and all other game companies will end, and everyone will be okay with it because we're all playing Final Fantasy 14 together. Okay?
Just for that, I refuse, and the resistance starts now.
But I had a reply for that one, but I thought it was going to be too mean.
Too mean?
I was going to keep going. What I was going to say was, oh man, too bad you won the one game that is going to be out there. You won't be even playing it. You'll be so over it.
I don't know why you have that narrative in your head, Ignacio, that I don't play it.
Where's New World? Huh?
Fuck New World. It's not Final Fantasy. It's not Final Fantasy. Anyway, Kena Bridge of Spirits. When I played Kena, Final Fantasy 14 will always be Gino's game of the year every year. Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's true. It's true. Every year there's a new expansion, that's my game of the year. Out of the water for everybody. Okay? That's how you know. So in 2023, sorry, the new expansion, that's my game of the year. Okay? It's every 2 years. Anyway.
Got it.
So Kena Bridge of Spirits was a game that when it was announced, from every week on when we would say what we were excited for, I told you guys, even though I wasn't consistent, but I was like, this is what I'm excited for, Kena Bridge of Spirits. And every time I mentioned it, I was like very excited. It's the most anticipated game for me. And it met my expectation. I
only met them?
It met my expectations, yes. Because that's the thing. It did not exceed them, but it met them. And I had very high expectations for this game. Okay. I love the fact that it felt, when I started playing it, it felt like I was playing, I felt like a little kid playing Jak and Daxter again for the first time. Because it felt very much like that.
It very much felt like that.
Yeah, it felt very much like that, but for this time. And just, I can't, I don't know how to say it. I can't, describe just how beautiful this game looks. It's one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen, dude. And it falls short on the character of Kana itself, because I felt like her story could have been more fleshed out. We sort of just fall into
maybe
this.
Her backstory.
Yeah, her backstory.
Like how she got the job.
We sort of fall into this just already knowing what she does, basically, or trying to figure out on her own what she does by how it starts. But I feel like we should have. I wanted to know more of her, and because for some reason, not knowing a lot of her about our character, I still loved her because of how sweet she seemed as a human being, just in general. With everyone she interacted with, just her small interactions with the little companions that she makes along the way, and then the people that she's helping along the way. I think another thing that should be said is how surprising it is that this is the first game that Ember Labs made.
Absolutely.
That should be something that I feel like is very worth mentioning, because it excites me for what they can do now after this, with having learned that and hopefully having more resources now, because of how this game was well received. So I assume they're only going to go up from here. It met expectations, the high expectations that I had. I loved the story, as even though there was not a lot there, I still loved what there was. I loved the world. I loved the difficulty, actually, because it wasn't easy. It was hard at times, but it wasn't Dark Souls hard. You know, it was a nice, challenging game that made you think of how to do your fight, and the puzzles were interesting as well, and the world was just beautiful too.
I agree.
And the other beautiful thing about it was that it was about 11-12 hours long, and it was
Chef's kiss.
Just a perfect amount of time. And for that price point too, $40 I believe it was, or $30.
Yeah,
it was one of those.
40,
I was like, I would pay the full $70 for this on PS5 and not even blink about it, because this is definitely worth all of that. So for them to I feel like for them to think, yeah, this is worth 40, I feel like they undersold themselves, because this is just an incredible game. It's one of the most beautiful
with that
games
amount of talent.
Yeah,
that they have in the artwork and the animation. It was an incredible game. It felt like the difficulty level was I liked it. I think it was not necessarily balanced well.
It was not
per se.
No. Yeah.
I thought that was one of the downsides, because man, those boss fights were difficult. So I bumped it down, and then it felt it was strange, because it was like, well, the everyday normal bad guys are a little easy. Like I don't have a problem with them, but the boss fights then were like the perfect challenge on easy mode, and I was just like, this feels great. Like this is like I'm dying in the boss fights, but I understand why I died or what
which that's what you want, because that's why that formula works so well. It's like when you die, you're not like, oh, this is
it's not fair,
cheating me. You're like, oh, I lost, I know why. All right, I'll improve on it. I'll work on getting better in this next next try.
Exactly. And so yeah, I had a blast. I would love DLC for that game. Like, let me go back in that world, please.
I did.
I want that so bad.
I went back into
Kana,
the world.
DLC, Kana Bridge of Ghosts.
It's not normal for me to go back to a game once I roll credits. I don't really go back to that, but I wanted to be back walking around in that space. and because
absolutely.
of how peaceful it feels, how tranquil it is, and just how beautiful the game looks. It really is. It is one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen.
If they expand it and your skill tree is a little more, you can kind of play how you want in all of that stuff. It's gonna they're gonna make a fantastic action adventure RPG.
They're going to make it
great. Stellar.
Yeah. I'm very excited for what they do next, or whatever they work on next. Because when we first saw it, I was like, this game looks too good to be true, and it was just as good as I expected it to be. So that's why it's my number one for the list here, aside from Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. Let's just mention that. Let's keep remembering that Endwalker's best game that ever came out. Okay.
Hashtag never forget.
Better than all of yours as well. Better than all of yours. Okay. All right.
Couldn't even tell. You can't even play.
All right. So Ignacio, tell us about Guardians of the Galaxy. How do you feel about that one?
How do I feel about Guardians of the Galaxy? So Guardians of the Galaxy
This is your number one.
My number one. It is my favorite game of the year. I loved the game. It had so many highs for me, and it never had any low. And because of that, it is my game of the year to put it above Lost Judgment. Before the game came out, we all talked about how the game could go either way between being good or being bad.
Yeah.
But I never thought I would love it so much.
Its E3 showing was abysmal. Let's be honest.
I wouldn't call it abysmal,
bad.
But it wasn't. I felt like after Avengers, which I did like, but I get the problems with Avengers. I thought that this was gonna be a similar situation. That
it
was
looked
gonna
like
be a 7 at most, or an 8 at most. But for me, Alan, I don't know who told you the gameplay was bad, but I love the gameplay. I really enjoyed it.
They didn't say the gameplay was bad. They just said the combat wasn't.
Gameplay's bad.
They didn't say the gameplay was bad per se. They just said the gameplay was unremarkable. Like it wasn't really doing anything amazing.
Yeah, it's fine. The gameplay is serviceable. I
wouldn't call it serviceable. I find it a lot of fun.
Whenever I heard about Guardians, no one was like, "Oh my god, the gameplay of Guardians." Whenever I saw people praising Guardians, it was always the story, the characters, and the writing. No one ever said, "Oh, but the fucking gameplay."
Yeah,
I felt Star-Lord was useless in a fight. He didn't do a thing. My strongest characters were my other teammates.
Gamora.
It was hard to target the right characters. Like to get Jarax to attack the right one so that I could then get Rocket to do his thing after that. Like I would be aiming at the right guy, but then I would have to hit the button, and in the meantime, someone else would get in the way, and then it would attack them. It's like, no, that's not the right guy.
I never had that problem.
And that's where I come down. Like I'm not saying Guardians is bad, but when Guardians is like what $60-$70, and I hear stuff, I hear stuff about the gameplay like that, and I hear that, like I'm not spending my money on that.
It's been on sale down to 30.
Oh yeah, it went down quick.
30 is still a little high for middling gameplay.
So for Guardians, I have it at 6, I think, 6 or 7 or whichever. But I thought Guardians was definitely a surprise because it didn't. I mean,
absolutely,
it didn't look like it would be that good. But yeah, the shining star for me is the narrative. The gameplay wasn't something that I'm gonna go back to and talk about. Gameplay was awesome. There was some low gripes that it felt buggy at times, just like the traditional, like this isn't a top-notch game, you know. No, but like it didn't feel like the highest quality. You know?
I had one where I couldn't get that collectible. That would be it.
And there was just what I love, again, music in games. I felt when you did these huddle modes, and then you successfully did it and you unlocked the music, I felt like that music wasn't loud enough. I wanted it to be louder. It didn't feel loud enough.
What kind of did you try?
No, what I did was I put the music all the way up to 100 and I lowered all the other sounds, and it still just didn't feel loud enough. Like as if they were afraid of DMCA. You know what I mean?
No, so I thought it was great.
hit like he wanted it to.
It didn't hit as hard as I wanted to. Like it would.
You wanted your ears to bleed.
It would pick random songs, and it wouldn't.
It doesn't hit.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit like when Guardians of the Galaxy 2 starts and they're fighting, and that music's just in your face.
Like sometimes it would pick like a weird song for this intense moment. And I'm like, this song doesn't really go with it. Like this song starts slow and then the fight's done and the song ends. Like at least start with like the big part of the song, you know, like start with the chorus or something. Like that's how I felt like it should have been done sometimes in those moments.
For me, I love the music implementation in the game. Yeah. First, of course, the huddle mechanic. I love the huddle mechanic. Mm-hmm. I think that even when the music didn't hit, I still like the music selection where at least it was just listening to music while playing the game. But when the music hit, when the right song hit in the right moment, it was so epic.
Yeah.
Fighting hordes of enemies. And again, I never had any problem with the gameplay or using my crew. One of the things that I loved about Guardians of the Galaxy is that I think that the crew is very well used in story and in the gameplay, where I would be going, okay, I'm attacking and everyone is pulling their weight, fighting every other person. And then there's this one enemy that pops up. Okay, Gamora, go do that. And Drax, then you, then Rocket, then Groot, you go do that. Okay, I need an area of attack, an area of effect attack. One of you go do that. I love the banter that the crew had. Again, I love the story. The story for me was the biggest surprise, where it kept me. This is a game that I enjoyed every second of it. It had highs, very fun highs, but it also got emotional parts, which I wasn't expecting. Again, it is a game that I never felt bored or never felt that it overstayed its welcome. It is one of the few games that I experienced this year where I didn't want it to stop. I wanted to keep going and going, and I liked how the game is fairly lengthy.
And it wasn't too long either. It was I think
it wasn't too long.
The perfect amount of it did not overstay its welcome. Yeah. I think it was a perfect length. But yeah, the narrative, of course, the banter between the characters and getting to know these characters on a deeper level too than we have from like the movies, or I haven't read comics or anything. So knowing them just from the movies, getting to know them here in a different way was good as well. And it was good narratively. Yeah. It was definitely great narratively.
I liked how they implemented the dialogue options, where it wasn't like an RPG where everything you say has to be chosen, but it wasn't inconsequential. There were things that did matter. There are things that they have an impact. I chose this, and okay, this character is gonna appear later instead of no one being there.
Wasn't there one? I don't know if you did this, Ignacio, but there was one dialogue option where if you chose it, it rolled credits, and then it reversed back because that wasn't the right option.
Yeah.
I was like, this is cool.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
No, I did that one at the beginning. It's not. I think that was one that wasn't a dialogue choice. It was you not doing anything. It is. Yeah. Spoilers for the game. It is when you are supposed to shoot.
Your mom.
Quill's mother.
Shoot your mom. Yeah.
I think it was that. If it wasn't that, then I think they give you an option to stay there or do something.
Yeah, and then it just rolls credits because that was the wrong choice. That was the right choice to do. Yeah, so I thought that was cool. But
again, it goes to show you how the game it does hit some good emotional moments where when you get the option, when you get that scene of you are back in the farm, your Peter's mother is still alive, the crew is all there. I felt emotional, and at the moment where Quill is supposed to kill his mother, it got very emotional. And I got the ending where the credits rolled because I didn't want him to kill her. I wanted him to stay there.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I feel like I got it too. So yeah.
I mean, I'd stay there. His mom was hot, so.
His mom was hot.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Ignacio's number one then. Guardians of the Galaxy.
There you go. Last thing I have to say on Guardians of the Galaxy, I loved the constant banter, except when I didn't.
They can shut up that.
Every once in a while.
Flarking. They said flarking every other sentence, dude. That was horrible.
Oh, God. They're supposed to just talk a lot. I get that.
Yeah.
But they talked constantly. They did not shut up for the like 15, 16 hours that the game went on. And it's kind of incredible that they had that much dialogue for all the characters to say, and it's all unique and it's all like just nonstop. Yeah. That's wild. But sometimes like I'm trying to figure out a puzzle or like focus on beating someone and I'm just like, guys, shut up. I need to think. Like let me do my thing here, please.
Yeah, we talked about it on one of our episodes where you brought that up and I said that I love it. It's still good though. I love how it doesn't stop. Again, like you said, it is a lot of unique dialogue and I love that it doesn't stop.
Yeah. And Mantis was such a great character.
Oh yeah.
In this. I liked her a lot in this.
Alan,
there you go.
I'm excited to see your number one. What the heck is your number one?
Well, the Game Awards completely snubbed my game of the year. It wasn't even there, and me and a couple of people on Twitter were really mad that it did not get any recognition. My number one is Neo: The World Ends with You.
Oh, I forget that game came out.
Yeah. Thank you, Game Awards, for snubbing it completely, and thank you, Square Enix, for admitting that they did not really promote the game enough. And told people that, well, if you want more, you should have bought the game.
Hey,
but they didn't promote it.
That's true.
Really. But for me, Neo strikes all of my boxes. It was an alien ass game through and through. So obviously I collect trophies, I platinum it, but there are rare cases where I platinum a game and I don't ever stop playing it. And Monster Hunter World, platinumed it, kept playing it over 2,000 hours. Neo, I platinumed it and I did not stop playing it because I wanted to do every single thing in the game that was available. The story, the characters are so well written, they're so funny, they're also very relatable with emotional stuff that like really resonated with me with some characters. Like not one specific one, but just all of them were so well written. The music, obviously it's been a theme. The music is just like, I literally have like half of the OST on my phone because the music is banging. But it's the gameplay. It's that perfect loop of I fight enemies, I get new pins, which are you use to use your psychic powers. I beat new enemies, I get new pins, I fight stronger enemies to level up my pins to evolve them to get stronger ones. You can eat food to level up your stats permanently, but you get full, so you're meant to fight more to get more hungry to eat more food. So it's this perfect hurricane of just the gameplay feedback loop. Just everything you do is servicing another thing that just makes you want to just keep playing it. And the game has such a great risk and reward system. Hey, you have a drop rate for pins or items. The lower you artificially lower your level, the higher your drop rate goes. So you can play the whole game at level 1 and your drop rate will be stupidly high to get better rewards, more money and everything. You can also play on easy, normal, or hard. And depending on the difficulty, you get different pins. Sometimes you can get unique abilities on easy mode. Sometimes you get unique abilities on a hard mode. Again, the higher the difficulty, the lower the drop rate. So you're encouraged to play on a higher difficulty at a lower level to get max reward. And it's so satisfying. It's so satisfying.
I remember when you were first getting into this game, and I think your partner was playing it first, right? And you were like watching them and being like, I remember you talking about like in your head as you were watching them play, you were like, but they could do this move and a combo with that, and that would be so good. And then you're like, I think I need to play this game next. Like,
so it's a unique story because
down like I got next.
Because Neo is the sequel to The World Ends With You. And I never played the first one because it's on the DS and I don't really play handheld games, but Amy played it. So she was the one who was excited for this game, not me. Like, this was her game. I had no intention of playing this. But then, she got it, sat down and played it. And I would like kind of watch her play it sometimes. And I'd be like, oh, I'd watch her win a battle and she'd get a new pin. And I'm like, oh, what's that pin do? She'd look at it and goes, I don't really like this one. Like, and as Kyle said, like, I'd be like, well, wait. It does more damage at the enemies in the air, so you can use one pin to knock them up, and then use that one to knock them down for higher damage. So then it became a thing where I'm watching him play it, and I see this gameplay loop, and I'm like, fuck, this looks so good.
He sees how the Matrix works.
So then when Amy stopped playing it, like literally it would be a point where Amy was playing it, but I play games faster than her, so she would play it for like a couple of hours. The second Amy would put the controller down and hand it to me, she goes, all right, I'm done for the night. I'm gonna crochet. And I'd go, okay. I would take the controller and just be like, fuck it. And I'd boot the game and I'd play it all fucking night. And it got to a point where I actually had to play it in small spurts because then I actually overtook Amy. So then I couldn't spoil it for her. But then as I got farther, I was able to help Amy with her combos, better pins, get better rewards. So it just also made the experience better that not only was I playing it myself, but then I was then able to help Amy with anything she struggled with. And oh man.
That's cool.
Man, to hell with you, Jeff Keighley, for not putting this game anywhere in the Game Awards.
Hey.
Why was it not anywhere?
Hey, at least you'll get to see that crew again in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, I mean, that's fine, but
the artwork looked like Kingdom Hearts ass artwork.
It's not as stylized as Persona 5's menus, but like the game does have its really cool, unique style.
Not them necessarily, though, Ignacio. Wasn't it their city that appeared? Or was it them?
No, in Dream Drop, I never played the Wildlands with
It was Neku. It was Neku, the main character of the first game.
Yeah, he appeared in Dream Drop Distance in Charlestown.
I see. Okay.
The ending of 3, I think, might be teasing more.
Yeah, the secret ending of 3 or something. Right?
Yeah, with the 104 building?
Yeah, the 104 building. Oh my god, it was like literally. If you don't play this game, look up the soundtrack. The soundtrack is so good.
Kingdom Hearts 4,
oh my
I think
god.
2030, I'm assuming.
2030.
But yeah, my number one was Neo, a game I didn't think any of you would have seen coming.
I forgot. If I thought about it,
the game came out at the end of July. It came out in the latter half of the year, and people did not know.
Okay. I think I know what Kyle's number one is.
I think too.
My number one, Ratchet and Clank.
Yep.
Great game. This just felt like video games to me. Like it's in a weird way, like it's not necessarily my favorite style of video games, but this was just pure popcorn candy fun. And just visual treat. The story was great, but it wasn't so complicated that you don't understand it, or you'd be like, wait, I don't. So the baby is his baby from a different timeline. None of that stuff. It's just super simple, fun. Like that's all it was, and it looked incredible. It played incredible. It was polished all.
That game was perfectly polished. Yeah.
I had one glitch that I actually had to quit the game and restart
Shut up about
it. Polished to perfection. Literally had a game glitch that I had to quit the game.
Yeah,
it's rare though that it only has like you can really only find like one glitch in there, and it's a pretty well known one.
Also,
I had a door unlocked, just never spawn, and no enemies spawn, and it just.
Oh, weird.
There we go. Lucky you. Yeah.
But I couldn't proceed.
I really enjoyed the game. I said that it was my number 3. It is, when the game came out, when I finished it, I really enjoyed it. My only thing with it is that even though I had so much fun with it, I have no negatives for this game, but it never got to the height of being it. For me, it was a consistent 8 or 9 all the way through, but it never did anything that got it out there. The game, I have no flaws for the game. I enjoyed everything in the game. The game is very pretty. It is very fun to play, very fun gameplay. I love the different planets that you go through, the guns that you get. Great, but it never got. It was for me my game of the year by default, but it wasn't a game that I said, okay, this is my game of the year.
It's a really, really great Ratchet and Clank game, but all of the Ratchet and Clank games are really, really great, and they they didn't do much to like push the envelope. Sure. Is what I would say, like against it, but it's still just like. Well, God, this game is so good. It's
weird because I was thinking about this too, because like when I was thinking of Rift Apart, like again, like you guys said, like I loved the game, like I loved playing it. I had a blast playing it. I think the thing is, Ratchet and Clank for me, for how I like eat snacks, it feels like that kind of impulse snack you buy at the store where like you eat it and you love it, like it's the best thing you've had out of everything you're eating. But then you eat it and it's done, and then you never think about it again. It doesn't last in your memory. It doesn't have a lasting effect.
And what it was for me, it's a video game. That's what it was. It was a video game. It did nothing more to me than be a very, very, very good video game. It was a video game. It did it.
How dare they?
A good story, incredible gameplay, properly polished. It was beautiful. It genuinely was beautiful. Funny thing about it for me was I finished the game like a month ago, actually, because I stopped playing it for like 5 months. And then I was like, you know what? I really got to finish Ratchet and Clank. And I went back and I only had like 20 minutes left. So I just had the last fight left. So I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Fight, All right. But yeah, it was really a good game. Like it was not an 8 or 9 to me, but it was a 10 that I would give comfortably. I would give this game comfortably a 10 because it is, it felt like a perfect video game. That's all it was. Video game. Nothing else.
And Insomniac does not miss.
It doesn't miss.
They really
incredibly, it doesn't miss. And also, they made great use of the PS5 hardware, where again the game looks very pretty, but also it does make great use of the SSD, where you have the different rifts that you go seamlessly.
And the control too. It didn't go.
And the control, the haptic feedback, the adaptive triggers, of course.
The what?
Even though it was my game of the year, I will say I was a little disappointed by the Rift stuff. Like I was hoping that would be more.
Yeah, it was used, but it wasn't like you never felt like, oh man, I used the Rift. Look how sick that was. Like you see the gimmick of it, and you're like, that's cool, but it's not really like.
It was just a grappling hook. Yeah, it was just a grappling hook, and they just cut out that like small like half of a second of animation for it to like move you from there to there. It was just like you're instantly at that spot, which is neat to be instantly at that spot. But yeah, the neat stuff was in the boss fights, but those were all like planned. Like that's just how the boss fight went. Like
kind of like Uncharted, where like there's these great moments, but they're cinematic moments.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that they also used it very well when you had certain areas where you could go between different universes or different versions of that area seamlessly. Where you have the mining planet and the underwater planet, where you have that where you go between dimensions.
Well, those are fine, but I think Kyle and I are disappointed in the rift of the grappling effect. That's what was kind of a letdown.
Like having that one level is fantastic, where you can go in between that stuff. But we've seen that. We've seen that in Dishonored. We've seen that in Titanfall 2. Like that's if you're pitching your game on like, oh, we have this brand new thing where you're gonna go in like another dimension of this thing, and it's just like. You mean the thing from those games that we saw like 5 years ago? It's just like, but that's the thing. They still used it well.
Yeah.
Like I'm not been like, oh, this was bad. It's my game of the year. It was good. It was fucking great.
Rift Apart was just a perfect PS5 showcase game, and that's where it starts, and that's about where it ends.
Yep.
Great
and also one other shout out that I want to give the team is that. One of my problems with Kena, Gino, is that it felt very much like they somehow took developers from the PS2 era, they brought them here to the present time, and they just made it a game. It felt like a PS2 game, and that's one of the reasons that I didn't play much of it, because I...
Why are you bringing this up now?
Talking about Kena?
Kena was like 3 slots ago.
Ratchet and Clank, those are games from the PS2 era, but I didn't have that problem because the games felt newer. I didn't have the problem where it felt like a PS2 game. It felt like a newer type of platformer, or 3D platformer, and that's one of the shoutouts I want to give the team, that Ratchet and Clank has been going strong for so many years, and still it doesn't feel like a PS2 game. It doesn't feel like the Ratchet and Clank games that would have felt back in the day. It feels like a new thing.
All right, Kyle, send us off.
Where are we at?
What's the ranking?
Before we do our top 10, I say we take a quick break for housekeeping, so we can leave people on suspense and tell you some cool things that we have been doing here at the Whatnauts. So we will be right back. We put a lot of hard work into the shows that we make, and yes, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and we'd love it if you would check them all out. You can find out more information on our website at thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. When you type in the Whatnauts, all of our shows will pop up right there. Just don't forget to give us a nice rating and review if you like the shows. If you want to support what we do here at The Whatnauts, patreon.com/The Whatnauts is the best place to do that. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. You can get all kinds of exclusive content at the $3 tier. You can also get a shout out and thank you on all of our shows at the $5 tier. You can support us on Twitch by subscribing to our channel at twitch.tv/The Whatnauts, and we would love to have you all join us for our live streams and talk with us in the chat. And lastly, we have merch. If you want to grab yourself a shirt or a sweatshirt or a mug or something else, go to thewhatnauts.com/store to pick up some merch today. And we are back. Big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters, especially those at the $5 tier and above. So thank you to Sam. I loved Psychonauts 2. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that was your game of the year, I think. So shout out to Psychonauts 2. Thank you for supporting us. All that stuff there. Yeah, cool things. It's the start of 2022. We're just kicking things off here at the Whatnauts for this year. If you guys are fans of The Matrix, we covered the entire series on that for our first thing on the review show. There's a brand new Matrix movie out. We did all 4 of the live actions plus the Animatrix. We talked about all of that stuff. Don't skip out on that. The Animatrix is fucking great.
Okay.
But yeah, go watch all that stuff. It was really good. We got our first one up of the Captain's Log. Got to talk about some of the news we've missed over the past couple weeks in our holiday breaks, and exactly how much TV I watched in the entirety of last year. To the surprise of no one, I am adept at wasting my life. So there you go. Good stuff. Yeah. Last but not least, Ignacio, I actually gotta talk to you a little bit to see if you are interested in doing a reactor core thing on Boba Fett and stuff like that, because we got some Star Wars stuff happening. I know Peace Walker or whatever his name is, Peacemaker, is about to start their show. So there's some stuff that we could start talking about for the reactor core too.
And we also
be on the lookout for all that.
We also got our 2022 fantasy draft that should be coming up as well. We got to plan that too.
We do. Yep. We do. So There you go. Be on the lookout for all that cool stuff. That being said, though, let's get to our top 10 list. So I was crunching the numbers while everyone was talking and stuff like that, so I wouldn't really have to wait all that long. So I'll start with our number 10 spot. Number 10, coming in with 10 points. Neo, the World Ends With You. Alan getting his one on the list there.
Nice.
There we go.
Good stuff. Yeah.
I like how it'd be my number 1, put it at number 10.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. You liked it so much that it got 10 points from you, but none of us else played it. So
again, it's a 10 solid points. It's a solid fucking amazing game.
There you go. Coming in at number 9, Nier Replicant with 12 points. Yeah.
Let's go, Gino. We got it on there.
Baby. Nier Replicant.
Good stuff.
Beautiful game.
So Ratchet's number 1.
We have a tie for 8 and 7 here. So we might have to figure out which one is which here if we want to. It is a tie between Resident Evil Village and Life is Strange True Colors with 13 points each.
I will argue for this.
Okay,
I mean, you can put Life is Strange above it. It's
okay.
I'll give it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Hell yeah. Sweet. So that means Resident Evil is number 8, and Life is Strange is coming in at number 7.
I'm trying to get out of here. I don't got time to fucking argue. You can have whatever you want.
Okay.
We have another tie for the 6th and the 5th spot here between It Takes Two and Little Nightmares 2.
All right.
Okay, points.
Okay. All right, Little Nightmares 2. Little Nightmares 2 goes above it, Gino. Come on.
Okay. All right. I'll be fine with that.
So
I'll be fine with it.
Wow.
It Takes
I gave you True
Choose
Colors. You
number
didn't give
six.
me Nightmares 2.
It Takes Two is number 6.
Okay, there we go. Done deal. That was easy.
All right.
Over here, I'm not going to argue, Kyle. Another tie off. Shit.
Okay, so yeah, that means It Takes Two gets our number 6 spot, and our number 5 spot goes to Little Nightmares 2. The number 4 spot with 16 points goes to Deathloop.
Oh,
Good game.
There you go.
Good game.
Okay.
Coming in at number 3 with 17 points. In this corner, weighing in at $40, it was Kana.
Ah, number 3. Nice.
Kana takes number 3.
Okay, I like that. That's a good one.
There you go,
Wait, so
Gino.
that means number 2.
All right. Is
Number 2 with 22 points is Guardians of the Galaxy.
I called it. It was Ratchet and Clank was number 1.
And coming in at number 1,
Final
just
Fantasy
barely
14
above Guardians.
Final Fantasy 7.
Ratchet and Clank with 23 points.
I
Just
am
barely
low-key
took
very
that
excited.
number 1.
Guardians did not fucking take number 1.
Oh my god, we're gonna have this discussion again.
Ratchet and Clank. Okay.
If you had played it and it had been on your list at the number 10 spot,
It
it
would've
would
won.
have been a tie for number
Oh.
1.
No. Guardians would not have gotten any fucking spot on my. It would have gotten the fucking dishonorable mention.
Yeah, Maze Hobbs is like,
These
no,
guys.
Death's Door. Yeah, unfortunately,
Did
none
any
of
of
us
us
played
play it?
Yeah, I don't
Death's.
think I played
I
it.
have
Well-
Death's Door. I have not played it yet.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, maybe Alan has and didn't like it. I don't know. He played a
No,
lot of games.
I have it. I have not played it. I've been playing games with Amy and stuff.
It
So,
felt like a Switch game
Yeah.
to me, so now that it's on Switch, I'm gonna try it.
well, it's on PlayStation now. That's when I bought it. So I'm gonna be playing that in the next month or so. So, I'm expecting good things because I believe Calvin and Amy both told me, yeah, Death's Door is right up your alley. All right, let's go.
There you go. So congratulations to Insomniac, Ratchet and Clank, A Rift Apart. It was
Second-
a fantastic game.
Yeah,
Second game of the year that Insomniac gets from us.
that's
Right?
true.
They're good. They don't miss.
That's true.
Wait, what was last year's?
Spider-Man?
Miles
Miles Morales.
That's acceptable.
It should have been Final Fantasy.
should have been Final Fantasy 7 if Gino hadn't
Oh,
been a coward.
yeah, then Miles Morales is 100%.
If Gino
oh, hell yeah.
hadn't been a coward.
And Alan wasn't sure about putting it on his list and
No.
Last of Us 2. I don't know. I don't want.
Good
I won't put it
stuff.
on my
Good
list.
stuff.
Well, yeah. Okay, Ratchet
Hey,
and Clank.
honestly though, before we get out of here, not gonna lie, this is a really diverse list of
Yeah.
games that we
It
played.
really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
It was.
This is why I like the number system that we do. If we all feel like we need to change it, we're more than welcome to. But I feel like the number system gets a good variety that we do, and there's some ones that can surprise you. Of everyone had that they're 4-3 spot, and it's just whoa! Because of that, we all really liked that one.
Mhm.
I played a lot. I played quite a few games that none of you had on your list. I only shared a couple with Gino and stuff.
Yeah.
Good
There
diversity.
was a lot. Yeah, that I played.
But-
You guys did.
Cal, what was the point difference between 2 and 3?
Kana had 17 at 3, and Guardians had 22 at 2.
So that means that if I were to change my number 1 and number 2, let's
You
just
can't change it to rig the
You
system. You
can't.
already cemented your choice.
It's a lot. Locked in.
Guardians will still be there.
Yeah.
None of this shenanigans.
We'd have to change it for that to happen.
Well, I
Not
can't
gonna
change it. It's
happen.
not even on my list.
So there we have it,
Good
my
stuff.
friends. That is
Gino,
Man.
take us home.
that is the
Gino,
Whatnauts.
Gino, neither of us played Tales of Arise last year and had it on
Shit,
our list.
yeah, that's probably an honorable mention for me. So those are
God
good. I
damn.
still gotta beat it though. But anyway, that is our Whatnauts game of the year: Ratchet and Clank, and coming in at number 2 and 3, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Kana Bridge of Spirits. All 3 incredible games. But that's it. That's all we have for you guys. Alan, where can the people find you on the internet?
You can find me tweeting about whenever I complete a game of 2022 at Twitter at Alan Busby.
And then let's actually change this question up a little bit, and let's all do it together. Alan, what are you excited for this year?
Oh,
just a real
man.
quick one.
Most anticipated.
You know what? I'm gonna change it. I'm not gonna do the pleb pick. I'm actually very excited for River City Girls 2.
Okay.
Wow.
I've heard good things about that first one.
Yeah.
Oh, Amy and I are playing it right now. It is literally my favorite game of this year. I played that's new right now. Oh,
awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it as well.
it's so good.
Cool. Ignacio, same two questions, my friend. I'll remind you.
Oh,
Where can the people find you on the internet? What do you look forward to this year?
People can find me on Twitter at IgnacioRojasB. That's IGNACIOROJASB. And what am I looking forward to this year? January and February are going to be very stacked. There are some good choices there. But I think it hasn't been announced, but the rumor is that it is going to come out this year. And I will say Jedi Fallen Order 2.
Oh, okay.
If it does come out.
Okay.
And if we're talking about announced games, Lego Star Wars, maybe.
Interesting. Okay.
there you go.
There you go.
Okay. Kyle, where can the people find you, and what are you looking forward to? My
Oh, wait,
friend?
no. God of War Ragnarok.
Fuck that one. That's
Yeah.
right. Everyone's excited for that one.
Trash ass game.
Oh, my fucking
God.
Same boat animation.
Look, we put Neo the World Ends With You at our number 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm very excited for I'm very excited for Ragnarok. I just wanted to be spiteful.
You guys can find me at YoKyleSpringer on Twitter. What am I excited for? I'm looking forward to checking out Sifu.
Yeah.
I want to see what that one's all about.
100%.
That one looks neat. Sifu.
Heck yeah. Okay, so you guys can find me over at Twitter at Gino_VTerry and Twitch at GinoVII, of course. And what am I looking forward to this year, my friend? Some more Final Fantasy content. Heck yeah, my friends.
Waiting in lines.
Heck yeah, dude.
Waiting in lines. More lines.
Also looking
Cue
forward
it up,
to
baby.
Final Fantasy 16, which I believe, we're going to get some more news this year.
Yeah,
It's not
I
coming
thought it will
out
come
this
out this
year.
year. I think Forspoken has a better chance to come out this year.
What do you mean Forspoken has a better chance? It is coming out this
It has a better chance to coming out this year.
But like it's announced
Yeah, you
already.
twat.
Like
It has a better chance.
okay, that's a little weird saying, but anyway. I feel like 16 is gonna come out at the end of the year. I'm feeling it. I feel confident that it will. Yes.
Last bit of housekeeping that I do want to mention, and while we're all sitting here doing social media stuff, is that we now officially have a TikTok, a Whatnauts
Finally.
TikTok. So
okay.
so go follow us at the Whatnauts. At the moment of recording this, there's nothing on there yet. I'm
Not even
gonna put a few old ones up. I've just not had time. I got back from vacation like 2 days ago.
Okay.
All that stuff. So there will be some of our older highlights up, and then as the weeks continue, we will start putting
Not
up
even
our
a
new stuff.
picture.
Your phone's all blurry, dude. I created the account to save the name. I did the bare minimum. Okay, get off my ass.
All right then. So there you have it. That's all our socials, and that is our new social right there, the Whatnauts on TikTok. So make sure to follow us there on your podcast services of choice, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on everything that you can possibly think of. We're on there as the Whatnauts. Maybe it's not us, maybe it's something else, but it is the Whatnauts. You know what I mean? So there you have it, my friends. But today, this has been Crossplay. And probably should say something new for the new year, huh? Let's think. This has been Crossplay, and you have been crossed out of the list for this year. Okay.
You got
I was also thinking about that one.
Okay, there you go.
Let's video some games. Let's
All
go.
right, my
All right,
friends.
guys. Bye.
Good night. Bye.